These are the sticks we got back.
There isn't an hour that goes by where Scott Thomas doesn't think of his son.
So that's his grad picture there.
Evan died in the Humboldt Broncos crash 2 months ago.
And my thought was every time I shake somebody's hand, his hand's going to be right there too, shaking that person's hands with me.
But as the grief sinks in, it's getting harder.
It's one foot in front of the other, and you just got to keep moving forward and dealing with one thing at a time. And hope someday you can look back and make sense of it all.
One of the things Thomas is having trouble making sense of, Sukhmander Singh, the owner of the suspended trucking company involved in the fatal collision, is still allowed to recruit drivers.
And he's going to turn around and run similar trucks and similar routes. Man, that's tough to swallow.
The safety certificate for Singh's trucking company, Adesh Diol Trucking Limited, was suspended 4 days after the fatal collision. Standard procedure pending the outcome of the RCMP investigation. But just 1 month after the tragedy, CBC News has learned the owner of the suspended trucking company was recruiting drivers while under investigation for the Humboldt Broncos crash. It's based out of the same Calgary home where Singh operated Adesh Diol Trucking, though Quality Logistics isn't owned by Singh.
In a sense, to me, it feels like it's kind of the Wild West out there.
The move was a red flag for the Alberta government. It suspended Quality Logistics, but then gave the company the green light to operate after the company showed it complied with safety laws. The provincial government is now closely monitoring the company. I
would have thought that maybe out of respect for the families and the nature of the tragedy that any entrepreneur would have respected the fact that there should be a certain amount of time that went by.
Singh declined an interview, but says he was recruiting drivers for a friend who owns Quality Logistics. One of his trucks has been transferred to the other company. While under investigation, Singh is legally allowed to drive a truck and work for a trucking company, but he's not allowed to operate a company. Some in the trucking industry believe Singh is using a loophole.
They become what's known in our industry as chameleon-like carriers, who develop other business profiles and shift their business operations, other different entities.
The Canadian Trucking Alliance is now calling for new national standards. Meanwhile, the Alberta government says it will look at how trucking companies are formed and whether there's a way to make them safer. Olivia Stefanovic, CBC News, Regina.